So in our webinar last week, I handed out the identity puzzle to the participants as pre-work. And we had a bit of a discussion at the start of the webinar, and somebody said, you know, Roy, I really struggled to differentiate between which were my identities and which were the roles that I played. Like, is mother an identity or is it a role that I played? And I thought it was just a fantastic question, and one which I think requires a little bit of unpacking. What I said to the participant is this, is that all of our identities are roles. Why? In that all of our identities are performative. We perform as roles, all of our identities, even the ones that we don't think are performances, like whiteness or blackness or masculinity or femininity. Those are absolutely 100% roles that we play and perform. Masculinity is absolutely a performance. Femininity, or a certain type of femininity, is absolutely a performance. What we have been taught in society is what is a good performance and what is a bad performance. So I thought it was really a fascinating area to kind of highlight that all of our identities are all roles. Just because we may feel like leader in an organization comes with a certain responsibility, we tend to ignore the fact that masculinity, we also feel like comes with a certain responsibility. And I'd like to challenge you as a viewer to know that all of our identities are roles. They all come with a responsibility, with this handbook of what is a good performance and what is a bad performance. What we need to challenge, particularly on those invisible diversity dimensions like masculinity, whiteness, heterosexuality, able-bodiedness, language, nationality, those ones that we don't think are performative, for us to actually interrogate, what does it mean to be a good man? What has society told me is a good man? Does it mean I can't cry? Does it mean I can't be soft? Does it mean I can't empathize? And for us to be challenging those. So all of our identity dimensions are performances. We are all performing roles at every single time. And let's kind of introspect and say, which of these performances doesn't serve me? Where can I challenge the role? But also understanding that there are consequences to challenging a performance. I think women in corporate understand this intimately, that they are asked as women in corporates to play a certain role, and that is not to be too aggressive and too dominant, right? Because that's challenging a gender role. And we know what happens. We know what women in workplace get called when they're too assertive. Oh, she's very aggressive. You know, we hear the term and she's a bitch. That's the reality, right? So in that unperforming of gender of women in that space, they get punished. It says, go be that soft, nurturing person, not too, that's the role that we want you to play. So all identity is a performance and all of it is a role. And how can we challenge the boundaries? First, seeing what those boundaries are and challenging it, but also understanding that there are consequences to challenging the boundaries of that performance.